Hi, welcome to Perfectly Imperfect Me. I am your host, Rachel, and today I want to talk about something that sits underneath so many people's struggles that a lot of people face, but a lot of times we don't often name it directly. And that is the emotional weight of denying who you are, who you love, or what feels true for you. So this isn't about labels. This isn't about politics or approval. This is literally about the basic human need to just live in alignment with yourself. Because when you can't, or when you're scared to, your mind and your body actually pay the price. So I want to talk about that, and I want to walk through that gently with you today. So what does that mean to just be human? Every single one of us comes into the world wired for connection. We're not meant to live small or edited. We're not meant to cut off parts of ourselves just to stay safe, accepted, or even loved. But many people do that, and often for really understandable reasons, because fear of judgment. Maybe they have fear of a rejection, culturally, or family pressures to just stay hidden. Trauma, religion, past experiences where opening up wasn't actually safe, or the belief that who they are should be different. And when you actually live in that space where you can't fully be yourself, the mind starts to fracture a little bit, and you start managing the version of you the world sees instead of inhabiting the real one. And that is exhausting. It's got to be very heavy. And over time, it actually affects everything. And so the psychological cost of hiding, right, has a huge impact. First thing, chronic stress and hypervigilance. When you're hiding something about yourself, something so fundamental, which is your identity, who you love, what you feel, your nervous system is literally always on. And you're just scanning for danger. You're anticipating reactions of other people. You're rehearsing in your mind conversations. You're filtering your words. That is not personality, guys. That's survival mode. And when survival mode becomes your baseline, it chips away at your emotional health. Shame. Shame grows in the dark. So every time that you silence yourself or you shrink yourself, a tiny message gets internalized. Something about me is not okay. And it's not because it's true, but because hiding often teaches you to believe it. And over years, shame impacts your self-worth. It impacts your confidence, it impacts your relationships, and even the choices that you allow yourself to make. So it also impacts you with yourself. If you can't be your full self with the people around you, even people who love you, it will create distance. And therefore, connection with people is no longer there. And not necessarily because they're unsafe, but because the internal fear keeps you guarded. So you could be surrounded by people and still feel profoundly alone if none of them actually know you. Disconnection from yourself causes pain. Pretending becomes second nature. So you start questioning your own feelings, your own reality, your own inner voice. You may even forget what the real you wanted in the first place because you've spent so long trying to protect, even please, or adapt. And this is where the mental health symptoms often show up. Anxiety, depression, irritability, hopelessness, numbness, which then leads to a loss of joy and freedom. And there's this unique heaviness in loving someone, but not being able to say it. And there's a grief that comes from wanting to be yourself and feeling like you just can't. And there's also this quiet sadness in holding a life that doesn't feel like yours. Joy requires a freedom, and freedom requires honesty. And living authentically is not selfish. It's actually healing, because authenticity isn't something that you magically decide you're going to do. It's something you grow into. It takes time, safety, and definitely some support. It takes unlearning the belief that who you are is too much, too different, too complicated, or too risky to love. But here's what often happens once people start stepping into their truth. Your anxiety decreases, your depression softens, even lifts, your sleep improves, your relationships get deeper and more real, and you stop feeling like you're actually performing. And you could finally exhale, and life starts to feel like it fits. Not because everything just becomes easy, but because everything becomes honest and real. And human beings do best when we're not at war with ourselves. And so if you're listening and you're still hiding, I want to say this. You are not broken, and you're definitely not broken for feeling afraid. And you're not weak for hiding your truth or holding your truth close to your chest. And you're not failing because you haven't said the words out loud yet. You're actually surviving, and you have survived in the ways that you knew how. You protected yourself in the ways that you needed to. And there is no shame in that. And I also want to offer you this. You deserve a life that lets you breathe. You deserve a love that does not require disappearing. You deserve relationships where the real you is not only allowed, but freaking welcomed and loved. And you deserve to be seen. And if stepping into your truth feels impossible right now, that is okay. You could take it one tiny safe step at a time. Maybe start out by journaling. Maybe it's telling one trusted person. Maybe it's therapy. Maybe it's just simply acknowledging the truth to yourself first. You don't have to run towards authenticity. You just have to stop running away from yourself. So, denying who you are or who you love doesn't make you stronger. It makes you exhausted. It doesn't make you safer. It actually makes you lonely. And it doesn't make you more lovable. It just keeps the people who love you from actually reaching you. And real healing begins when you stop abandoning yourself. And no matter where you are in that journey, I want you to hear this clearly. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to feel what you are feeling. You are allowed to exist as the person you truly are. And you are worthy of love you don't have to hide from. So, if you want to take that first step, take it. Journal, reach out to somebody safe. But regardless of where you are in your journey, just remember, you get to be your authentic self, and acknowledging that first is so important. And yes, it might mean that some people in your life will choose not to have a relationship with you. And I'm going to challenge you to just remember that you deserve love, you deserve peace, and you deserve to be who you are. And if those don't like it because it's not aligned with their morals or values, that's okay. That's on them. You're not doing anything wrong for being who you are, for loving who you want to love. So with that, I am Rachel, licensed psychotherapist, licensed in 9, almost 10 states, and your host of Perfectly Imperfect Me 365. I hope you have a great day and just enjoy being who you are.